All right, here we go. And so now, hopefully you realize we are still subtracting. And once again, we do not have a common denominator, so we will need to factor this bottom one. This one is a trinomial, meaning that we can use that magic x. Hopefully you can do it without the x by now, but if not, it's still there to help you. And so we want what multiplies to negative 15, but subtracts to 2 or adds to 2. And so we know it has to be 3 and 5, because 3 times 5 is 15, but is 2 away from each other. And so we know one of these needs to be a negative because the 2 on the bottom is a negative. So the 5 is the bigger number. So the 5 has to be negative because 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Also, sometimes a hint is look at the denominator of the other one, and usually that gives you a good hint. So it's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 5. All right, let's go ahead and write this. So I'm going to write this, all of this with it factored, x plus 3, x minus 5, and then we are subtracting, so we got to put a big negative there and write our other fraction. And so hopefully you realize that they have the x minus 5 in common, but this fraction is missing that x plus 3. So we need to multiply the top and bottom by x plus 3 so that we get the same denominator. And here's where you got to make sure you're careful. We're going to take that negative and put it on the 1, then distribute. So make sure, since there's a subtraction sign here, we're going to put it next to that number and then distribute that negative. So we're going to have x plus 5 over all that, x plus 3, x minus 5. And then when we distribute that, we get negative 1x minus 3 over all that. And since we just moved the negative up there, it technically now becomes a adding problem there. All right, so once you distribute that negative, then it just becomes a positive. And we have like terms, so they're in love and they're going to combine. And so, how nice, we have 1x minus 1x, and hopefully you realize that's 0, so you're not going to write anything there. And then we have 5 minus 3, which is 2, so the x actually goes away and becomes 0. There should be no x's at all. And then we have our denominator, x plus 3 times x minus 5.